All right, guys, we're back again today with a fourth part in our video series about what to do after you've been in an automobile accident. You can check out parts 1 through 3 on other video links that you can find here on this page. Brief recap, it's important to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a dangerous position after an accident. Check out that video, because sometimes the right thing to do might be to stay in your car and stay seatbelted. In other traffic situations or weather conditions, it might be appropriate to try and move your car off the road. We've got a second and third part to that video series where we give you some other helpful tips about what to do after you've been in an accident. But now we've come to the point where insurance information's been exchanged, law enforcement's been contacted, and we start to get involved in the insurance process. You could receive a call from an insurance company as soon as a few hours after the accident that you've been involved in. It's important to keep priorities at this time after an accident. Your priorities need to be making sure that you're in a safe spot, you're not going to make a bad situation worse, and then it's getting the medical care that you need to get better. Or for example, if you have a spouse or a friend or kids in the car, making sure that everybody in the car is getting care and treatment that they need. There's no urgency from a legal standpoint to talk to any insurance company immediately after an accident, even your own. So if you get a phone call on the day of the accident or shortly after the accident, let that phone call go to voicemail. Keep first things first. And at this point, you need to make yourself and your well-being a priority. The insurance companies can wait. Some of the mistakes we've seen come up over the years is when people talk to an insurance company immediately after an accident, they say something that the insurance company then tries to use against them later. Let me give you an example. Accidents are very high stress, very exciting situations. Not necessarily exciting in a good way, but they are certainly shocking and surprising. The body has a biochemical response to a severe incident like an automobile accident or trip and fall accident. And one of those responses includes the production of a great deal of adrenaline. Adrenaline can mask some of the injuries that you have. So if you're talking to an insurance company immediately after an accident and they ask you about your injuries, you may reasonably say that you're not feeling any or that you're only feeling minor injuries at that point. But we've probably all had those instances in life where we have a hard workout, a hard hike, some sort of physically challenging activity on day one, but you go to bed feeling good and you wake up the next morning very, very stiff and sore, or even 2 mornings later feeling like you've just been in a fight. Well, car accidents and other sorts of injury incidents are not different than that. You may wake up the next morning realizing how seriously you have been hurt. As those chemical responses start to fade out of your body, you're going to feel very sore, painful, and injuries that you didn't know that you had may start to rise to the surface. If you've spoken to the insurance company before that happens and you've provided them information about how you're feeling, you can bet they're going to try and use that against you later to say, well, on the first day after the accident we spoke and you told us that you weren't hurt or that your injuries weren't very severe. Now your lawyer's telling us that you actually were hurt and you had medical treatment. That's why you don't need to give a statement immediately after an accident. Moreover, you need to be calm when you're giving a statement, and that's important to have a wise counselor, a good attorney on your side who can talk to you about what needs to be said and what doesn't need to be said. You can also trust that when you're on the phone with an insurance company, it's being recorded. So you hear that line almost all the time when you're talking to a business now, that this conversation may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. Well, you can bet that the conversation is being recorded for a number of purposes, including possibly quality assurance. But certainly it's to pin you to a particular version of events that you may provide before you know the whole story. So if you've been in an accident, before you talk to an insurance company about your injuries, give us a call at the Arthofer Tonkin law offices. Our consultations are free. There's no cost to you to call our office or to meet with one of our attorneys if we decide to investigate your case further. There's a link below that you can click and call us now. Thanks for your time.